A tragedy struck the life of Jolene Macintyre, the lady of Bad Chad Customs. I'm strong and mighty, but that one wore me out a little. You got your work boots on. I got the same ones you got on. Oh, there you go. At a time when her career was thriving and everything seemed perfectly under control, Jolene was suddenly faced with her most painful loss, the passing of her beloved mother in late 2024. The shock not only left her with inconsolable grief, but also threatened to collapse the very empire she had worked so hard to build. Pressure, conflict, and emotional turmoil piled upon her all at once. But from this darkest moment in her life, Jolene had to decide. Given to break down or get up to carry on the fight through her story, the brutal truth behind the apparently unblemished halo of achievement is uncovered. All right, you can put it in neutral now if you feel more comfortable. Oh, there you go. And then the gas is the same as anything else. And then give her a go on the push button. I want to get this pattern right here like this. I want it straight on the back. Exactly like that. Throughout the years in which Bad Chad Customs mesmerized a global audience, Jolene was so much more than a money manager. She was the pillar, the one who kept the whole machine running smoothly. With a massive workload that mostly drove her to the brink of burnout, every project was approached like a high-pressure race. But the pressure didn't just remain within work. Her relationship with Chad, her fiancé and partner, sometimes drew a thin line between work and personal life. The two frequently found themselves clashing over budgets, schedules, and management decisions. I'm not just a partner, Jolene once said. I'm the one who keeps things moving forward, and sometimes that makes me the most annoying person in the room. Family obligations brought another level of difficulty. Chad came with 2 children from a prior relationship, and Jolene, who felt strongly about stability, regularly found it difficult to reconcile her highly demanding career with her position within the extended family. Late-night meals, constant meetings, and long shoots left little time for personal rest or moments of real peace. Jolene's first ride. Make sure that door is locked to her before we see. Hello guys, welcome back. So I had this nutty thought that I wanted to paint. Happy birthday, Rooster. I'm happy that you're following your dream and staying with us for a couple of weeks. As the TV project picked up, so did the stress. The transition to digital content almost doubled Jolene's workload. Besides organizing car projects, she now also controlled video editing, advertising budgets, and even going on camera. It turned into a never-ending cycle that filled her days and nights. There were even weeks when Jolene was hardly seen on camera. Insiders close to her shared that during those moments, she seriously questioned her role and whether to stay on or not. In reality, Jolene had been secretly planning to step aside from Bad Chad Customs. She was going to reduce her workload, assign more tasks, and even considered abandoning the project altogether. But in the end, her mind was made up to stay. I knew I had to keep going. If I quit, it would all crumble around me. That decision showed not only Jolene's resilience, but also sacrifice. Nevertheless, the fissurers behind the scenes were a canary in the mine. One more hit would cause everything to come crashing down. And that crushing blow struck, not from work, but from her home life. In the latter part of 2024, Jolene began the blackest page she had ever written. Her mother, her spiritual anchor and constant pillar of strength, was abruptly diagnosed with terminal cancer. The illness advanced with brutal rapidity, and in a matter of weeks, Jolene was compelled to accept the inevitable. On November 28th, her mother died, leaving an irreplaceable gap. While her mother was dying, Jolene lived in 2 worlds. In the daytime, she kept up her duties at Hilt's Auto Company, holding together as a firm boss. At night, she was a mourning daughter with every spare hour by her mother's side, crumbling silently within. Few moments were as difficult as that one, Jolene confessed. It felt like everything was falling apart in my hands. The loss was not just emotional. It seeped into every aspect of her life. Her already hectic schedule became impossible to handle under the pressure of grief. Projects lagged, collaborations were delayed, and even Chad sensed the change. The impact was palpable. What hit her fans the hardest, though, was how Jolene expressed her suffering. She flat out declared her mother's death and wrote about the deep influence her mother had on her life. In a particularly moving post, she wrote, "My mother was the most faithful woman, and I know that she is still protecting me even when she is no longer around with us." These words were both her mourning and her thankfulness. In spite of the destruction, Jolene did not step back from her profession. Rather, she invested all her feelings in her profession, drawing strength from the very work which had otherwise seemed to overwhelm her. For her, work became a means of paying tribute to her mother's memory and keeping her spirit alive. "I think about my mom every day. That gives me the motivation to not give up," she shared in a recent video. The tragedy realigned her worldview, where she had been driven nearly all of the time by work. She started to prioritize family, simple pleasures, and deep relationships. Vacationing with Chad and the team, family holidays, and calm moments became treasured priorities. Although she was still dedicated to expanding the brand, losing 2024 reformed Jolene into an even stronger, more resilient person. The suffering was unmistakable. Yet, through it all, Jolene found a personal resilience she never knew existed. She demonstrated that even in the midst of great tragedy, she could survive, persevere, and re-emerge. Her story had begun again, returning her to where she started, the same fire in her belly from growing up in Nova Scotia into the world of stretch limousines. Prior to becoming the familiar figure of Bad Chad Customs, Jolene Macintyre already established a strong foundation of information discipline and willpower. She was born in Centerville, Nova Scotia, and grew up in a family setting where hard work, toughness, and perseverance were being instilled in her. Jolene showed her strength early on through sports, particularly soccer. She was not only a part-time player, she was a star on her college team, where her discipline, focus, and pressure cooker performance skills were on full display. These are skills that she would later find invaluable in her career. Skills that would serve her well in the pressure cooker world of high-stakes custom automotive projects. But Jolene's career didn't end on the athletic field. She approached academic life with the same seriousness. She earned her Bachelor of Commerce from St. Mary's University with a finance major.